In 1987 and 88, the Seminoles turned out back-to-back 11-1 seasons, and Miami was the spoiler. Despite an even tougher schedule this year and the loss of superstars, the 89 Noles look strong. If they can stay healthy, the Noles will again challenge for the national championship. The only change in strategy? Ignore the Miami Jinx.
We are the Seminoles of Florida State. We know we're good, some say we're great.
The 88 Seminoles were confident, super confident. They had it all, and they knew it.
Call me cocky, and I know that. But this I got to do, the Seminole Rap.
They talked the talk, they rapped the rap. They told America the national championship is fact.
We set our goals, we made our plans. We're going to be the best team in this land. We're working hard in the Bowden camp to bring Tallahassee a national champ.
But the unthinkable would happen.
Yeah, maybe the rap video was a little bit ahead of schedule.
It showed our overconfidence, and we had to eat it.
And it would burn going down. Losing the season opener to Miami was the Seminoles' worst nightmare.
Sometimes you go into flashbacks, you think about the Miami game in 87, you think about the Miami game in 88. It just makes you mad.
Number one, it puts you in your place right quick, and you get serious all of a sudden.
But Bobby Bowden would revive his humble Seminole football team, leading them from gloom to glory. In a season of hard-hitting defense and high-scoring offense, the Seminoles would reel off 11 straight victories, highlighted by a thrashing of cross-state rival, the University of Florida. The most celebrated play of the Florida State season, the Podbrewski.
Hand off to the upback. Leroy Butler's got a long way to go to the 40. Leroy Butler to the 50. Leroy Butler to the 40 to the 30. Leroy Butler to the 20. Leroy to the 10. Leroy Butler knocked out of bounds at the 4-yard line. What a play by the Seminoles, some razzle-dazzle.
And the sweetest win of all, a New Year's showdown in New Orleans.
For a team to get beat 31-0 the first game of the season, the biggest game of the season, and then bounce back, I think that showed what kind of character we had, what kind of character the coaches had on this team.
The payoff for 89 is a repeat of last year's performance, despite the loss of superstars Deion Sanders and Sammy Smith.
Our talent level is about the same as it was the last 2 years, but it's going to be a very immature talent.
Coming of age is new quarterback Peter Tom Willis.
You know, you sit on the bench for 4 years. You know, you want to show people you can play.
And he did. In his only start last year, Peter Tom spearheaded the Seminoles' 59-0 blowout over South Carolina.
In that game, everything just started clicking. You know, I felt like I really belonged out there.
6'3", 200 pounds, good arm. I haven't felt as confident about a quarterback here going into the season as much as I do him in a long time.
At wide receiver, the Seminoles may have 4 of the best. They're not John, Paul, George, and Ringo, but they too are known as the Fab Four. Together, Ron Lewis, Terry Anthony, Bruce Lassane, and Lawrence Dawsey tallied 22 touchdown receptions.
I don't think there's any receivers in the country that can touch them. You know, I think you could take any one of them out and they'd start at any college, you know, and I really believe that you'll see all 4 of them in the pros.
He has waited for Sammy Smith to go pro. Now, Dexter Carter holds the key to the Seminole ground attack.
I will break the single-season rushing record, which is 1,230 yards, which I don't feel like there's any problem.
The question is, can Carter line up 11 ball games at 170 pounds?
You know, there's no doubt that I can take the leg. You know, maybe it was something I had to prove to the coaches this spring. They gave me the ball 30 times. I got up walking.
Sacking is this man's favorite pastime. He's All-American nose guard Odell Haggins.
I only feel I'm a very mean guy. I don't take no jump for nobody.
Returning from an injury-plagued season, Odell will lead the Seminole defense.
He's hard to block. You can't single. He's hard to single block. You have to double him. Odell is probably one of the best defensive linemen in the country.
Deion Sanders was the best Seminole defensive back ever. But the NFL draft sent Deion to the Falcons, whose heir to the throne is no mystery.
The Butler will do it.
All eyes are on Leroy Butler as he fills the biggest shoes in the Seminole secondary.
Deion wore 11 and I wore 10 and a half, so I eventually grew into him.
But can the Seminoles grow up fast enough to meet their greatest challenge ever?
We open up with Southern Mississippi, who's a bowl team. Then we play Clemson, who's a bowl team. Then we play LSU, who was a bowl team. Then we play Tulane, who wasn't. Then we play Syracuse, who was a bowl team. 4 out of the first 5 were in bowls last year.
If we get through this schedule this year, there's no way we can be denied of the national championship.
Pollsters agree. The Seminole schedule is college football's toughest. But Florida State has the top 10 talent. Yet one question lingers. Will the Miami Jinx continue?
Miami, we want you very bad. You will be in our backyard this year. Ain't no if and buts about it.
The Florida State Seminoles hand the Miami Hurricanes their first loss of the season. FSU beats Miami for the first time in 5 years. Dexter Carter rambles for 142 yards and a touchdown. The FSU defense forces 6 Miami turnovers.
FSU had won 5 in a row and faced arch-enemy Miami just 7 days later in Tallahassee. For the 5th time in 8 games, the Seminoles would play in front of a national television audience. And just about every sports fan in America tuned in to see the rematch of what has become the game of the year in college football. Miami was the only team to beat Florida State over the previous 2 years, and the Hurricanes were once again undefeated and ranked 2nd in the country. A record crowd filled Doak Campbell Stadium to watch one of college football's most exciting games, and it was every bit of that. FSU wasted little time in showing Miami that it would be a tough day.
Ready for the first snap of the game. He will play fake and drop back to throw. Under pressure, he gets out of the pocket, runs to the right side, gets the pass over. It is picked off by Leroy Butler. Butler's got it at the 36-yard line, and the Seminoles force the first turnover. On first down, Bennett and Carter are the starting running backs. Handoff goes to Dexter Carter. Tries to get outside. Gets the corner turn. He is to the 30-yard line. He is to the 20-yard line. Down the sideline, Dexter Carter. Touchdown, Florida State. First play from scrimmage. A 37-yard touchdown run.
Listen to that crowd. My, was a block thrown by Edgar Bennett. And what a piece of nifty running by Dexter Carter, the senior.
Miami matched the Tribe 7 points when they took the ensuing kickoff and drove 80 yards, scoring with 9:57 left in the first quarter. The Seminoles made it look like an offensive shooting match as Peter Tom Willis hit 4 different receivers on an 81-yard drive that culminated in Edgar Bennett's 1-yard touchdown plunge.
From the 1. 3 tight ends set handoff to Bennett. Bennett dives. Touchdown, Florida State off right tackle. The Seminoles have taken a 13-7 lead.
Miami could answer only with a 44-yard Huerta field goal late in the first quarter. From that point, it was all Seminole defense as the Tribe held the potent Hurricanes scoreless for the last 3 quarters. Miami threatened, but each time FSU came up with the big play to kill a UM drive. Miami's first threat came with the ball just inches away from the goal line.
From the 1, Torretta rolling toward his right, gets the pass away. It is picked off. Intercepted in the end zone.
Miami again had the nose of the football just outside the Tribe's goal line with just under 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
6-7 at the line of scrimmage. Hand off to McGuire. Loose football. Loose football, diving on it. Who's come up with it? It looks like Florida State has recovered at the 1-yard line.
On another 3rd and goal, Miami tailback Crowley tried to leap over the heart of the Seminole defense and was met by 4 Seminole helmets. He lost the football, and Kirk Carruthers' recovery kept the momentum. It was appropriate that Carruthers killed the drive, as the sophomore linebacker was a one-man wrecking crew against the Hurricane offense. Whether he was blitzing, covering the run, or taking care of business inside, Carruthers was devastating. He tallied 16 tackles, 11 by himself, and intercepted a pair of Miami passes. For his efforts, the sophomore was named Sports Illustrated Defensive Player of the Week.
We definitely knew that much of the ball game relied upon the defense, and everyone was pretty much ready, and I was thankful to have that kind of a game and to try to help with the win, and we were just really grateful that we played that well.
After Carruthers' recovery, the Seminoles showed their championship stuff when, on their own 1-yard line, Willis dropped back and hit a streaking Ronald Lewis for a gutsy 51-yard completion. 7 straight rushing plays into the heart of the nation's top defense took the Seminoles to the Miami 2. And Amp Lee broke the plane of the goal with 2:12 left in the third quarter to send the score to 21-10. And FSU fans into euphoria. With a big lead and the momentum, the FSU defensive front came after Gino Torretta like he was the last piece of ham in the fridge. They hassled him into 3 quick tosses on UM's ensuing possession, and Miami's 37-yard punt put the Tribe near midfield for its next possession. FSU used the run again, reeling off 4 plays before the drive stalled at the UM-23. And Richie Andrews came in to nail a 41-yard field goal just as the fourth quarter began. Miami managed just 3 first downs in the fourth quarter, 1 on a penalty, as the Seminoles dominated the eventual national champions 24-10.
Well, there wasn't a bigger ball game on our schedule the last 10 years than the University of Miami ball game. It's a shame that we already had 2 preseason losses with that one, because we played a great game over a team that we thought was as good as anybody in the nation. And the team that 2 weeks later just beat Notre Dame decisively, and yet we beat Miami as decisively as they beat Notre Dame. So it was our finest hour, I thought, during the '89 season.